Omnicular overreach is when a founder or entrepreneur has a fantastic business idea and it does many things. Now, the problem here is they haven't quite chosen one route. So when it comes to pitching their idea, they'll talk about all the different markets that this product is relevant to. And by speculating on dozens of different outcomes, it just starts to confuse investors. And your message becomes so cloudy, so multifaceted, that investors don't understand what you actually want to achieve. An example of this is a founder that we know who had this incredible piece of IP in something called graphene. Now, this material was phenomenal, and he put together a pitch and a business plan, and in that plan he would talk about multiple things that this could do, multiple partnerships that he'd built that were all partly there. So he'd done stuff with Adidas, he'd worked with the construction industry to build these load-bearing walls. He'd invented something that was as thin as a hair and it could hold a grand piano. So he was also talking about 3D printing graphene so that you could send stuff up to the moon, 3D print building blocks, and also send up graphene motors as well that could help to build constructions up on the moon. And the problem he had with having too many great ideas around the application of graphene is he could never get investment. He'd get the meetings because it's so exciting and he has this IP. So people wanted to meet him. But once he started explaining all the different applications without settling on one, the investors wouldn't go near the guy. And from the investors' point of view, what they saw was that he would spend lots of time doing lots of different things rather than focusing on one key area. And that's what an investor wants to see. They want to see a clear structure and timeline to what you've done and where you're going, so they can clearly see where their investment's going to go.
The problem you'll encounter with omnicular overreach is that you're typically going to be in a position where your idea can solve many things. And by trying to pitch your idea off the fact that it can solve many things, you're going to really reduce your ability to go into detail around one particular problem and one particular solution. So what we find is where entrepreneurs and where founders suffer from omnicular overreach and explain all of these hundreds of problems that their product could solve, they're lacking detail, and it's that detail that's needed for an investor to make an informed decision on whether or not this is a great business idea. The other problem it has is that it almost presents you in a way that you don't really know your go-to-market strategy. You're just sort of spraying and praying and hoping that something will stick, rather than having done research to indicate that a particular niche is where you should start and establish your base and establish your market and grow out into these other use cases from there.